These are my predictions for the upcoming PlayStation Showcase. So Sony announced the PlayStation Showcase is happening next Wednesday, May 24. Let's try to predict what games will be there from first-party studios, partners, and third-party publishers. Team Asobi took the legacy of the now closed Sony Japan studio, and after working on Astrobot games for PSVR1 and PS5, they should be ready to talk about their next project that will likely be playable on PS5 and PSVR2. Rumors say they have been working on a 3D action platformer that will probably be an expanded version of Astro's Playroom. However, something cool would be if they did a team-up game between Astro and another PlayStation mascot, Sackboy. But that's my wish. Anyway, I think we're gonna see their next game there. Firesprite was acquired in 2021 and has worked on stuff like The Persistence and most recently Horizon Call of the Mountain. Hirings at the studio point on a Unreal Engine 5 game that combines a story with car and on-foot combat, including the hiring of former MotorStorm director Matt Southern from Lucid Games. Sony is also launching a Twisted Metal TV show with Peacock on July 27, so I think a new Twisted Metal game is a safe bet. London Studios' most recent work was Blood and Truth for the original PSVR, received well by critics. As per an interview from co-studio head Stuart White with GameIndustry.biz, the studio has abandoned VR to create a fantasy online combat game, which they teased with a key art showing a modern fantasy London with one of the characters fighting orcs and dragons. I say this gets revealed at the upcoming showcase, but maybe just a teaser with the game launching in the next 12 to 18 months. Fan favorite Naughty Dog has been on a roller coaster with the stellar Last of Us adaptation with HBO, but a bad PC port for Part 1. Studio co-president Neil Druckmann took the stage at Summer Game Fest last year to show concept art for The Last of Us multiplayer, and earlier this year they showed a new one promising a reveal later this year. The Last of Us Factions is 100% logged in for this showcase, but I'm going to go one step further and say they will offer a taste of the game's future alpha or beta state with the release of The Last of Us Part 2 for PS5. They did Part 1, so you have to imagine they will do Part 2. This was long rumored after Sony removed the video that talked about the PS5 patch the game had in 2020. Naughty Dog also began working on a new project, but it's too early to show here. Sucker Punch has been said to be working on Ghost of Tsushima 2 for a while now, with various job postings looking for more people, among that a combat designer who understands Ghost systems. I believe they will reveal the game here, but nothing that substantial, maybe just a teaser for the single player game to launch within the next 12 to 18 months. Sucker Punch is said to be working on a multiplayer game, likely Ghost of Tsushima Legends 2, that maybe becomes its own expanded mode, however don't expect the multiplayer here. Everyone is looking forward to Spider-Man 2, and that's the easiest to say will be here, as Insomniac gives us a look at gameplay, but unclear if it will be on a trailer or a raw gameplay segment, but we'll definitely get a release date. The game launches this fall, rumored to be September, and could be tied to the new PS5 model with a detachable disc drive. However, announcing it this far ahead kills the sales of the current one, so no new PS5 here unless Sony has depleted their most recent stock. The big question is if they will also have Wolverine. Last two showcases they have games shown back to back, but I'll say that the game skips this showcase. Bluepoint Games teased a new game in December last year with a holiday card showing the games they work on, including Demon's Souls, Shadow of the Colossus, and God of War Ragnarok support. Rumors juggle them working between a Metal Gear Solid remake, a Bloodborne remaster, and an original IP. Konami is reviving IPs and giving them to other studios, as we saw last year with Silent Hill being developed by Bluebird Team, and a Metal Gear remake has been long rumored and also linked to developer Virtuos. Virtuos is mostly a support studio and they have worked with Bluepoint in the past for Demon's Souls, so I think there's a chance they are teaming up for this one. Last year there were rumblings around the Game Awards from Spanish website Aria Jugones, and this year BGC's Andy Robinson said he knew Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake is a 2024 game. I would give this a 50-50, but I want to believe, and I'll say that 100% they will show a new Metal Gear here. If the remake is not being worked on by Bluepoint, then I guess we'll learn about the rumored original IP, as it pains me to burst the bubble of a Bloodborne remaster. Sony also has some games from partner studios that are likely to be here. These are games worked in collaboration with their ex-dev studio, and some of them include Team Ninja's Rise of the Ronin and Chief Ops' Stellar Blade. Another is Death Stranding 2 with Kojima Productions, and Hideo Kojima recently posted a photo with the ex-dev marketing team after they visited the studio, so Death Stranding 2 is a sure thing for this summer, but it remains to be seen if it appears in the showcase or in Geoff Keighley kickoff event. They already showed a story trailer, so maybe an expanded version with pieces of gameplay. There's one more game that was rumored as part of the NVIDIA leak and even leaked again in April last year, and that's Helldivers 2 from Arrowhead Studios. An early trailer was posted on Twitter and later removed by a copyright claim on Sony's behalf, so this is real and likely to be revealed here, as Helldivers 2 might be one of those games to include games as a service features. The China Hero project has brought some great indie games, such as Fist Forged in Shadow Torch and Anon Mutational. Lost Souls aside is a game that has shown quite a bit so far, but it wasn't until November last year that SIE announced they will be publishing it. And this will be a good opportunity to put more eyes on the game, so I expect it to make an appearance. NetherRealm just revealed Mortal Kombat 1 this week, but there were rumors of WB Games and Sony working marketing together, likely because Sony owns Evo. It was also rumored that the game would have this early reveal first, with gameplay to debut at the PlayStation Showcase, so I think this could make an appearance as Sony brings another gem to their infinity gauntlet of fighting games. If we are getting a Metal Gear Solid remake, or maybe even if we don't, this would be a great place for Konami to reveal Silent Hill 2 remake gameplay. Sony is said to have time exclusivity deals for several Konami games, including Metal Gear, a rumored Castlevania, and Silent Hill 2 was revealed as PS5 only. Furthermore, Bluebird team had to clarify the game was not ready for completion after a misunderstanding earlier this year. Still, I think it's far ahead in development to show some gameplay. Capcom revealed Pragmata at the Future of Gaming event when the PS5 was revealed, and it was expected to launch in 2022. It was also included in the PlayStation sizzle reel at the Sony CES keynote in 2021. The game was delayed to 2023, and unless they show something soon, it will likely be 2024. Even if they delay it again, this would be a good place to show it. Unless the game becomes this generation's Deep Down, in which case we'll never see it again. And there you go, those are my predictions for the upcoming PlayStation Showcase, at least some of them because there are other publishers I didn't cover like Square Enix, which I don't think they will have Final Fantasy 16 here, since they also have their own launch event in early June, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth would take away from 16. While Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors have been making the rounds this week after the Take-Two financial call, I think it's too early, and even if it was time, Rockstar can reveal the game on its own. Plus, PlayStation also features a couple of indie games every showcase, like Stray or Chia for example, so we'll see a few take the spotlight. But what do you think? Do you agree with my predictions? What other games do you think will be there? Let us know in the comments below, like or dislike to share your feedback, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, check back on May 24 as I'll be live reacting to the showcase, and consider subscribing for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!